Okay, let's do Bacardi Gold. Welcome to Jackson's Cabernet. Okay, maybe not. But welcome to the first brown liquor monologue. Yes, you read that right. So, as you saw, I feel like I should introduce this segment the first time around since, this is the very first one. Brown liquor monologue. If you're here, then you are into solo traveling. My name is daljiimarax. So, if you are here, then you are that person that is somewhere in between budget and luxury travel, okay? Am I right? I'm right. So Brown Liquor Monologues is a segment on my channel that is inspired by my absolute favorite travel vlogger, Damon Dominique. He does a segment on his channel called Red Wine Talks, and he just talks about some real ass shit about the world, about travel, about life, about people, all things of that nature. So I was inspired by that segment and I chose Brown Liquor Monologues, which will be solely based on travel experiences, the most recent travel trip I went on. As you can see, I'm talking about how I spent my 25th birthday in St. Thomas and things of that nature. So with that being said, this will be the first Brown Liquor Monologue. You can expect these every month, and let's get into it. So, it's my 25th birthday, and I decided to go to St. Thomas last minute because my dumb ass lost my passport. Didn't notice I lost my passport until the day I was supposed to leave for my trip. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going because I had to postpone. Thankfully, I was able to, just postpone that trip to a later date in 2021. So that vlog will be up once I, hit that country up. But my dumb ass forgot my passport. How do you not know that you don't have a passport to the day of? Because you are so confident in yourself that you fucking have your passport. It's where you thought it's going to be, and that's it. So you never thought to even look for it because you're like, I never touched this passport. I've never been out the country, but I bought a passport years ago because I know traveling was something I wanted to do. Never even got the chance to do that because my dumb ass lost my passport. So I paid for this passport years ago, never got a chance to use it. Now it's lost. Now I had to purchase a new one. We'll get into that later. So, where can you go that's very beautiful, that, is 25th birthday appropriate, that's not Atlanta, and you don't have to use a passport? You go to the Virgin Islands. That's what you do. So I get to the Virgin Islands, safe and sound. The day of, me booking it, figuring out I don't have my passport, I go ahead and I book the flight. Unfortunately, due to this being a last minute trip, I had to fly Spirit. So I ended up having, to fly the plane. A couple of seats were missing. Some people were standing up on the plane. Some of the windows are broken. Some people's furniture, some people's luggage is flying out the window. It was a mess, but I got there safely. And with that being said, I booked the flight with Spirit, had a long, well, it didn't have a long layover, I'm lying. Had a layover in Orlando, ran to the terminal because it was less than an hour, made it to the Virgin Islands. Virgin Islands, I'm in Atlanta, so I'm spoiled. Virgin Islands airport is this fucking big, and I'm used to Hartsfield Jackson, when you got to take trains, and there's restaurants all up and through it, and there's artwork everywhere, just real bougie, real Atlanta shit, very on brand for Atlanta. So I get to the Virgin Islands. Prior to me leaving, I booked the hostel. I'm a hostel type of girl for the simple fact that I like to be in the midst of the city. Whenever I'm traveling, I like to be where the locals are. I like to eat local food. I am not a fine dining type of girl. Not even just because of my budget, because the food is always underwhelming. Fine dining food is always underwhelming, and I don't have the time for that. So I like to eat where the locals eat. Where's the most authentic food on this island that I can eat? So I got a hostel. The hostel was absolutely beautiful. The front desk man, Thomas, was super nice. It was in a really great location, so it was walking distance from other eateries. There were, grocery store nearby. There was a corner store nearby. It had a beautiful view from the beach, from the pool. Unfortunately, the pool was pretty warm. It was not cold water, so this was not the place to go if you wanted, just like a, como se dice, cool down, you know. You don't want to go to that pool for that, but it was cute, and it was, you know, it was a nice little experience. Hostel was a hostel. It was not the most luxurious place, but it wasn't dingy and dirty and trifling and things of that nature. So in addition to me, you know, choosing to go to St. Thomas, because this trip was one last minute, I'm not Jeff Bezos, and I already paid for the other trip, so all the hotel and bookings and all that for the other hotel was already booked and ready. I was on an even tighter budget for this trip because you can't get all that money back, you know. My flight and my hotel and my accommodations for the other trip booked. I can't like, can I take that money back and then I'll pay it again when I, you know, since I moved my flight up a little bit earlier? You can't do nothing like that. That's not how that works, okay? So with that being said, I was on a tighter budget, so I'm like, okay, this is going to be a more relaxing vacation. And when I go to an island, I prefer to do a relaxing vacation over than a whole bunch of excursions and freaking jet skis. And like, I could do all that in Miami, did all that in Miami. I'm not trying to do all that snorkeling and this, like, I'm not interested in things of those nature. Those super touristy excursions are not my cup of tea. They never have been. Not to say that I'll never do them again, because that's some bullshit. I might be like, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna get on the ATV ride this time around. I might do something like that. You never know. But as far as right now, we're not getting into none of that. So I'm like, okay, what we're just gonna do is we're gonna relax. We're gonna go to the beach and we're gonna eat. And we're gonna stay in our hotel and we're gonna watch movies and TV shows. And unfortunately, I ended up planning and, you know, working content because I can't not. I'm obsessed with it. I posted some, you know, things on my Instagram because, you know, I'm providing travel content on my Instagram and TikTok as well. So I was editing videos and TikToks, and I was editing and planning, okay, this is what I'm going to edit when I get home. This is what I'm going to film when I get home. Like, it was relaxing to an extent. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't unplugged, unfortunately. I wasn't like, okay, I'll respond to this. Like, I was checking emails. I was seeing what's up. Like, unfortunately. We just love capitalism, right? So, with that being said, I get to St. Thomas. It's very beautiful. First thing I do is unpack my whole suitcase. I am that person that when I get to a location, when I get to my hotel, I'm hanging up stuff, I'm putting stuff in drawers, putting stuff on counters. I'm not living out of my suitcase. I can't live like that. It's how you forget things. It's how you lose things, in my opinion. It's how you you don't repack properly because, you know, stuff is not organized. And I feel like it's easier to repack and it's easier to navigate and have a much more smoother, you know, vacation when everything is out and ready. When you gotta go in and out your suitcase, you might drop something in there, you might forget something in a deep-sided pocket or something. You like, dang, I forgot this whole time you got it because it's in your suitcase, but you ain't know it because you ain't unpacked your suitcase because you living out your suitcase, and you really should have just put your shit in your drawers. So don't do that. Don't be like that. Don't be that person. When you go on a vacation, unpack your suitcase and put shit in drawers and on top of dressers and counters and stuff like that. Don't be living out your suitcase. You paid for that. That dresser in that hotel room, that's a part of something you paid. Think of it that way. I'm paying for this dresser. The time I'm living here, I'm paying for this dresser. So I'm going to use this dresser. This dresser going to be used. That's how you got to look at that, okay? So don't do that. Don't be that person at all, okay? Next, I go in and check out the hostel. I'm walking around the hostel. I'm seeing what's up, who there, who not there, what's it close by, you know? Because a lot of times, when it comes to like these little family-owned mom and pop, you know, home accommodations, bread and breakfasts, sometimes they can be misleading. And I've seen plenty of times where like a hostel will say, oh, we're close to this, we're walking distance to this, and you get there and the only way to get there is through a taxi or Uber, and they just lie so you can book them. And you wouldn't know because, you know, you could Google things ahead of time, but you're gonna trust the person who is native to the place more than you would trust Google or something. So if they say, you know, we 5 minutes away from the, you know, the closest hookah shop, and when you get there, you ready, okay, I'm trying to go to the hookah shop and it's 15 minutes away. You say, hold on, you said I can walk here, what's going on? Oh yeah, you can walk there, it's gonna take a little longer, but if you get on a taxi, or if you get a ride, or if you book our, you know, driver service, it could be 5 minutes away, and they don't tell you no stuff like that. So, and when you booking stuff last minute, you know, You ain't got time to be making all the different phone calls and emails and WhatsApps and text messages and all that. You ain't got time for that. You just like, I need to get some ASAP. Because baby, I was not staying in Atlanta for my 25th birthday. We was not doing that. We was not doing that, okay? I had to go. I was like, I have to go somewhere. Now that this international trip is canceled, I have to go somewhere. Didn't want to go anywhere in the United States because that's even more expensive. Traveling in the U.S. is not cheap. And didn't want to go back to Puerto Rico. And yeah, my options were limited without a passport. I'll just say that. So next, I'm looking around. I went downstairs to the front desk. His name is Thomas. And I was like, what's around here? What y'all got going on? What's the good food? Like I said, he gave me a list of like things around, places to shop, places to eat, activities to do, how much the activities cost. This is St. Thomas, so the only way you can get around is either on foot or by taxi. Ain't no Uber, ain't no Lyft, ain't no public transportation. This is a little ass island, boo. You gotta need a taxi or you can drive. If you comfortable driving on the left side of the street, I am not. And parking ain't cute. It's just not one of them things that you want to be thinking, okay? So I'm asking him, what's good to eat around here? He recommended these places, You can go here to do this, you can go to this club over this way. I'm like, cool. So I went to the corner store, grabbed me a couple snacks. I always like to have a couple snacks in my room when I'm going on a vacation. Come to find out, St. Thomas is expensive as a bitch. I watched travel vlogs about St. Thomas prior to booking the flight because I wanted to make sure. And people were saying it was a little expensive, right? But I'm thinking in my head, how? It's an island. Their GDP runs off of tourism. How could everything be so expensive? And usually when you travel places in the world, it's always usually cheaper to go grocery shopping than to eat out every single meal. That was not the case here, boo-boo, because everything is imported. So, an 89-cent Hershey bar in America, that's $2.50 over there. $3.99, $2.99 pack of Oreos in America, $8 over there. I'm like, oh, this is the first time in my life where I have to go out to eat all the time to save money. Like, what is this? I would have brought my own snacks, but this was last minute, so I wasn't thinking on my feet like that, okay? So I'm walking around the corner store like, bitch, why this shit so high? This shit say 99 cents. When you ring it up, it's $2.50. What y'all got going on? So my snack inventory, once I purchased was a little low. Because I'm like, am I finna spend $20 on this bullshit? Am I? Is it a coincidence? I'm not doing that. So with that being said, I purchased some snacks and then that was the end of it. And thankfully there was alright, so I purchased my snacks, went back to my room, showered up, and I just relaxed the rest of the day. I got to my hotel, check-in is until about 3 o'clock. By the time I got settled in, unpacked, it was about 6 o'clock. It's the 26th, my birthday is the 27th. So I'm like, let me go and do a night swim. So I went downstairs. The pool said closed at 10. But I'm like, ain't nobody even really here or like that. So I went downstairs to ask, the front desk, like, what's y'all actual, pool rules? Like, what y'all got going on? He was like, it says 10, but I'm not going to be babysitting no grown-ass adult. Keep it cute, and you can be in there until your little heart desires. So I'm like, say less. I like that. I like that you trust people, okay? Because, like I said, wasn't nobody really there. This is a cute little mom and pop stuff. This ain't no big chain hotel. This is a little hostel. And I prefer a night swim. I like that. That's a little vibe. So the hours go by. I probably took a nap, showered, and woke up. I'm like, okay, it's getting closer to my birthday. So I'm going to go to the pool. I'm going to watch a movie. And I'm going to turn up for my birthday. So I brought my liquor outside. Got my Instagram ready for the clock, for the clock to turn 12 a.m. And then some people start to come in. I guess I'm in there making noise. We start conversating or whatever. Yes, conversating. I use Ebonics over here, honey. Yes, conversating, that's correct. And it's a nice little vibe. So I'm kicking it with people and just having a good old... Y'all know I had to get the free bread and breakfast. Y'all know I had to get the free breakfast. Because, listen, let me tell you this. Don't be that person that goes on vacation and doesn't pick a hotel or a hostel or whatever with breakfast, because you're like, oh no, we're just gonna get up and go get, you know, some food. Because one thing, even though I didn't know how much money and how expensive St. Thomas was going to be, I'm super happy that I chose to do a breakfast hotel. Because if you're drinking or you going out or you just doing whatever, you're not going to want to go get dressed and go to a separate location. Especially if a situation like this where you either have to have a taxi, something has to be within walking distance, or you have to drive there. If it's not as super easily accessible, you don't want to have to deal with that first thing in the morning. So I got my ass up and ate that breakfast. The breakfast was not pretty. I will tell y'all that. It was not a cute breakfast. It was not like, ooh, this is nice. When I say you, it was busting. And the thing is, they only give you like a certain amount of food, and then if you want extras, you have to, you know, and then if you want extras, it costs another $2. I was like, okay, $2, I could pay extra for that. By the time I was done with them, I'm like, oh, this is all I need. I'm good. I don't need no extra food. Like, this was bomb. So I ate my food. They had a nice little, you know, a nice little juice. I don't know what it was. Some type of tropical orange juice situation for the morning. And the breakfast was obviously like 7:30 to 9:30. Breakfast at hotels is that early. So, boo. Set your alarm clock. I went back to sleep. I'm like, oh, 8, woke up 8, and I'm going to take me a little nap. So I woke up after my nap, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing shit today. Like, when I tell you, I was like, okay, I'm going to hit the beach. I'm probably going to go, you know, walk around a bit more, see the island. And I'm like, but I'm here for a couple of days, 1. 2, I don't necessarily care to do anything. I really just wanted to get away from Atlanta, get in a new environment, and relax. Like, this trip was about relaxing. It was not about like doing too many excursions. It wasn't about, you know, filling up a whole bunch of space just because I'm on vacation. And like I said, it was expensive there. So it's like, is this worth doing this? Am I really going to be fulfilled after I, you know, do this excursion or I do this activity, or am I just going to do it just because I feel like I have to do something because I'm here? And I feel like that's a really good thing, you know, a really good thing to think about when you are traveling around the world. Is every single thing and every moment that you have when you are at this location have to be exciting and full of, and be super fulfilling, and, you know, you can never be sitting down relaxing. You have to continuously be on the go at all times. Why do you have to do that just because you're on a vacation? Like, I get that most of the time people vacation for that, but I don't want my life, I don't want traveling to be about a vacation in a super exciting experience. You know, being just in a new environment, to me, is a really great thing. You know, that's a really fun thing. That's a really exciting thing. You don't have to necessarily get so much out of every travel experience. And I don't want traveling to be a luxury. I don't want it to be a vacation. I don't want it to be a quick getaway. I want it to be just something that is a part of my life, something that I do. Just like every time I get paid or something, I could go purchase something new for my house just because I want something to, you know, that's an experience. That's something I'm willing to put my money towards, not just because, oh my God, like, I need my house to be just like, you know, I don't want it to be a luxury to me. Traveling is not about being luxurious, which is why, you know, my whole brand is somewhere between budget and luxury. And it's like, traveling shouldn't have to be, you shouldn't have expectations every time you go somewhere, right? To, I don't know, not necessarily be wowed, but be, you know, like, learn when you go to places, but you don't necessarily have to be in a completely different, how do I say this? When you travel, try not to just think that the purpose of you traveling is to do activities and go on adventures and, that's so disrespectful, and go on adventures and try these super exquisite foods. Maybe just go somewhere just to chill. Maybe just go somewhere just to relax. Go somewhere just to people watch. Just to have a fucking random conversation. Like, one of the highlights of, even though I did end up going on a tour and going to a beach and things of that nature and going to a nice restaurant, one of the things that would be most memorable to me from this trip was the conversation I had with, you know, the other people that were staying at the hotel at the pool. One of the most memorable portions of this trip to me, and something that I feel like this is a memory I will take with me forever, was the conversations that I had with the other guests, hotel guests at the pool. When I was sitting there by myself, they came over there and sat and talked to me, and we just chopped it up for like an hour and a half. Because those are memories. I will always go to beaches. I will always go to nice restaurants. I will always go to tours when I go to different places. But these genuine, random conversations that you have with other people from throughout the world, like, those are the memories that matter to me. Getting other people's perspectives of their views on the world and how they move into this world. Why did you end up in St. Thomas at this same hostel as me? Why are you here? What's your story? So those are the things that I live for, not necessarily jet skiing and snorkeling and climbing mountains. Like, those are things you can always do. Those are things that you don't necessarily need to get away and go on vacation and spend tons of money for. Like, those are just like default experiences to traveling, and I don't want every single travel experience to do that. Like, I feel like I have to go into an adventure just because I'm in this country or I'm in this city. No, I want to just sit down and have a conversation with a random stranger about life. Like, about, I don't know, I was about to lie and say sports. Girl, I don't be doing no sports. But that's something I'm going to remember about this trip, is this conversation I had with these strangers. That we was cracking up, we was, spitting jokes, learning from them. They were learning from me. Like, that's something that I will carry with me forever. Yeah, the beach was absolutely beautiful, but I'm going to go to other beaches. Like, beaches are beautiful. Like, that's not necessarily something unique to my experience there. What was unique was the conversation I had and the person that I met. And then at the end of the conversation, we just went on about our life, and nothing became of it. There was nothing, we didn't have any expectations on how the conversation was going to go or what was to happen afterwards. It wasn't like, oh, okay, now that we had this conversation, we should be friends. We should exchange social media. Like, it was just like, we had this conversation, we had a good time, and now we're just going to go our separate ways. I feel like when you go to travel places, like, you usually have a set of expectations, and then when maybe those are not fulfilled, or they are, one, you're either looking for the next thing, okay, I checked this off the list, like, let me go ahead and do the next thing. Or you're like, dang, this was not as great as I was, now my experience is ruined. Like, obviously make plans, and if you want to travel certain places for certain things, definitely do that if that's something that you desire. But every travel experience you have doesn't have to be just this over the top fun experience that was just endless of activities, and you waking up at dawn and hitting this excursion at this time and doing this and this and the third, and then you're going, like, don't make traveling about that. Make traveling about the little things, conversations you have with people, the time you lost something, or the thing you went an extra mile to do, or the time you literally just sat on a bench and people watched for 3 hours. Like, make traveling about that. Just observing human beings, observing the place that you're at and the things that you do and the way that people live their lives. And I feel like that's another reason, in addition to me traveling, to obviously see these beautiful places, but learning people. Why do people think the way that they think? Why do people move the way that they move? Why do people have the thoughts and the views and the values and the morals that they have? You can't know these things by just going to countries and going to the beach and jet skiing. You have to be immersed in that culture and learn what those people are doing by being in those areas. If I would never sat at the beach, if I would have just went to excursion, I would have never had those time for those small talks. I would never had time for those little, conversations with people. And I'm very appreciative of that. So I'm happy that I wasn't just relaxing in just my room, but I was relaxing around other people. So, people are seeing me by myself when they're curious, like, what is this young lady doing by themselves? Like, let me, what's her story? And that's what brought them over to me, and we had a really great conversation. And now I have one of those memories forever. Like, that's a great conversation that we had. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what it was about, but I want to encourage people to, like, when you travel, don't just think about the activities that you could be doing and the different this, that, and the third. Like, think about making connections with people, and don't even expect anything out of it. Don't expect to, meet somebody from, go to a country, meet a person who is indigenous to that place and just have expectations of it. Meet them and just talk about some random coffee, sports, activities you like to do, their favorite food, goddamn, their favorite type of shoes. Like, just have conversations like that. Because I feel like you can learn something from that. And don't necessarily have expectations on where the conversation should go or what should happen after. Just live in the moment. Just live in the moment. And I feel like I did that whole trip. And that changed my perspective for the rest of my traveling that I'm going to continue to have moving forward. So after, you know, that day on my birthday and me relaxing the whole time, I basically would just go someplace and eat or get food and bring it back to my room, and I would talk to the front desk people, and I would, you know, have other little small talk conversations with the other guests at the hotel, and I would relax. I had no expectations for the day, and I felt like that's what made my trip much more special. Is like, you know, when you have things planned out, you kind of have like expectations and a kind of bias on how your day should go or what to expect, and I didn't want any of that. So I planned my excursions the very last day, and I didn't have much time, and I felt like that made my experience much better, because it's like the last day I booked a tour guide, and he took me around all of the island, and it was the most beautiful experience ever. It wasn't just like, this is this artifact, and this is a fact about this building, and this is this governor's home. It was like, this is a plant, you know, that grows here, and it cures this, and it treats this, and this is a place where local people do this, and this is how they live this way, and the reason why, you know, you may see this in this area of this town is because of this reason, and this street is named this because of this settler and this colonizer. And it was more of a, not just fun facts about my hometown, but the people in this land are the way we are because of X, Y, and Z. The way we live our lives and the way that we move in this world and our values of the world are because of X, Y, and Z. And I appreciated that. And my tour guide specifically was super smart, and he really knew a lot about like language and the origins of words. So he can tell you this building is named this because of this reason, and they named it this because of this reason, because of the origin of this word, and this word originally meant this, and it means this, and it's been interpreted to this when it's been translated. Like, it was just education that wasn't boring, and it was fascinating, but it was like also like, it's like I had this thought my whole life, but I never knew why it connected this way. I never knew why I thought this way, or what, you know, I felt felt like I was filling in a void or something like that. So it was like, my tour guide was the best. I'm so happy I chose him, and that we were able to, you know, connect and have great conversation, and it felt very like natural and personal. It wasn't like I hired this guy to just show me around the world and tell me all these fun facts about this place that I'm probably not even going to remember as soon as the trip. Like, I left that tour feeling super fulfilled, and I'm like, I wish this man nothing but the best, and I hope he gets all the freaking clients and customers possible. So I'll leave his information in the description box below. And like, he truly, obviously every tour guide is going to want you to have a great experience and learn about their land, but he was like, I don't want you to just, I felt like his intention wasn't me to just learn fun facts about the island, but to leave with a different perspective and different views, and to go home and take the information he gave me and do my own research. It wasn't about, this is why this land is called this, and this is why this is a place that people go to eat, and this is where such and such stayed. It was like, I want to tell you these things, and I want a light bulb to go off in your head. I want you to have a new view on the world after I tell you these things, and I want you to go home and do your own research, and I want you to go to educate the people that you know. That's what I felt. I felt like it was a lesson that didn't stop at the end of the tour. His intention was to have me continuously learning and have me continuously conscious in thinking outside of the box, as cliche as that is, and not just like, you know, like, I just feel like most tours are just like, this is fun facts about this country. It was more like, this is a fun fact, but let me tell you why this fact exists, and while it's not really a fact, it's kind of more of a theory, and why people think of it this way, and how it became, you know, how the interpretation became this way when it was in, you know, between translation and just time going by. It's like, I want you to understand that this is what it is today, but this is why it is. And I want you to take that and I want you to do something with that when you leave this tour. I don't want you to just stop your education here. Not just about this place that we're in, but just about life in general. Like a lot of the conversations that we were having when we were stopping at each location, like we kind of went off the grid with the conversation. It became a much bigger conversation, much more high level, and I was very appreciative of that. I've never had a tour like that. Like I'm the type of person that I like to do, when I do my solo traveling, I like to go places and like kind of feel it myself, but I'm also a person who likes to have a personal travel guide, because it's like it's only, you know, when you research things yourself, you're not going to get the same interpretation or the same story versus for somebody who lives there, someone who's a specialist, somebody who lives that life on a daily basis. So I always like a solo travel guide, and I feel like he was one of the best ones. Like I don't know, it's gonna be hard if somebody tries to top him. He was great, and I just felt awakened when I left. I'm like, wow, this was a really great experience. So yeah, so my last day I went on the tour. I went to the beach and I went and bought some liquor at the airport, because that's what I do every time I travel, and fill up my water card. And I felt fulfilled, but not because I did a whole bunch of shit, but because it's like, yo, this is what traveling is about. It's not about, you know, adventures. It's about learning. It's about coming back home and having a different perspective on why the way you live your life. Why do I, you know, live in this type of place? Why do I value certain things? Why do I value certain people? Why do I have certain morals? Like that's the things I try to get out of traveling. Not just going and eating great food. Like these people live their life this way because of X, Y, and Z, and I live mine because of X, Y, and Z. But which one is better? Which one is right? Which one, why? What occurs in both of our everyday lives in which we have to live our lives this way, or we choose to live our lives this way. Like those are the type of things I like to get out of traveling, and I exceeded my expectations. My travel experience and my vacation was very short, and it was simple, and it wasn't filled of adventure, but it was so meaningful and so fun and powerful, and I have a much better perspective and excitement for my further you know, travel experiences to come in the future, because it's like I want to live everything like this. Like I want to do activities, I want to eat at the really great food spots, but I don't want to go into this space feeling like a colonizer and feeling like this is a vacation, this is a luxury. You know, to be able to sit and have a conversation with somebody, that shouldn't be, you know, that's not something that's a luxury. That's just something that's an experience, and it's just a lifestyle. Travel to me is going to be a lifestyle, not a luxury, not a vacation, not a getaway. Just a part of my everyday life. Like me getting up and washing my face, like me getting clothed, like me going to get gas, like me going out to eat, like me going to walk my dog. Like that's just a part of my life. It's not a plus or add-on. It's just, it is what's a part of me, and that's what this vacation did, and that's how I'm moving forward with my other travel experiences. So 25th year, we smarter, we wiser, we out here, and I'm super excited for my future travel experiences. I didn't say that about 50,000 times because I'm like, it took this little island, this little expensive ass island, and a couple of random conversations with strangers for me to have this big ass view on travel and what it means to me and how I feel like it should mean to other people, you know? Not to say I'll never have a luxurious travel experience and staying in a 5-star hotel and, you know, getting picked up in a nice car and things like that. I'm not opposed to any of those things, but that's not why I'm going to travel. Those are not my intentions when I visit places in the world. And I'm always looking for something to learn. I'm always looking for something, you know, a place to just unwind or maybe just relax or just be in a different environment. It don't even have to be about finding something, but just being in a different environment puts you in a different mood, and it changes your, you know, your comfortability to what you're used to just being at home. So that's kind of like what I'm into. So that's how I spent my 25th birthday. If you are interested, so I want to leave you guys with this. Travel not for adventure, but for perspective, for understanding, for education. And make sure you're subscribed for more, because I feel like this is what these brown liquor monologues are about. They're not just going to be about me, like this is what I did on this trip and I did this excursion, I got on a hot air balloon and I did this. Like, no, I learned this. I learned this about myself. I learned this about the people at this place. I learned this about the world. Like, it's not just about, traveling ain't just about the stuff, okay? It ain't just about all of that. So, cheers to the first brown liquor monologue and many more to come. Make sure you're subscribed for more of them. And yeah, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this travel channel, baby. It's gonna be one of the best out there. I'm telling y'all. All right.